look into the Crimson Tide and more. Catch us Monday from 7 to 8 Central on Tide100.9.com and TiderInsider.com and all your social media platforms for Inside the Trenches.
See, I'm from Big Bama, you're not the little one. We got smoke for anybody that wants some. Yeah, we don't do no yapping, and we don't do no capping. We from the state where all we know is make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome in to the latest edition of Inside the Trenches, starring Wallace Gilberry Andre Smith, former NFL and Bama greats, featuring Rodney Orr and yours truly, Gary Harris. We're with you next couple of hours. Next couple of hours. We could go a couple of hours. We're with you next hour. We got plenty to talk about, that's for sure. That's why I'm so fired up here on Tide 100.9 FM, Tide109.com, and different media outlets as far as social media is concerned. So we are ready to go. Want to tell you, if you want to get involved in the program, we've had some good calls the last couple of weeks. The phone number for the Inside the Trenches podcast hotline is 205-339-4953, 205-339-4953. Let's dive right in because Alabama beat Vanderbilt on Saturday afternoon at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium 30-14. Vanderbilt led 7-0, 14-7. It was 14-14 at half, but in the second half, and Wallace, we'll start with you. I thought that was, even though it was a 20-14 game with 6 minutes to go, 23-14 before a late touchdown made it 30-14. I thought Alabama was dominant on both lines of the scrimmage. I'm not sure, Wallace, I've seen in a while an Alabama team that imposed its will physically. We talked about this last week, the need to do that. The run game got going. They wore down the Vanderbilt defensive line. They were dead tired. And then the Alabama defensive line shut down the run, impacted Pavia, got them behind. And I thought, even though the score was close for most of the game, I thought that second half Alabama was dominant. What about you?
Absolutely, man. Hands goes down to Freddie Roach, the way he had those guys ready to play up front. I mean, hands down, everyone came out to play. All week, all we heard was Pavia and those guys talking trash about how bad they were going to do Alabama. And it felt good watching our guys defend Bryant-Denny Saban Field. It felt good seeing those guys come out and defend all that trash talking that we heard all week. To put it in perspective, they wrote checks that their mouth couldn't cash. So it felt good being on the other side of that check. What about
Dre,
you, Dre?
You had to feel good watching that offensive line go on ball possession drive after ball possession drive, and then late with the run game had Vanderbilt as I said, they imposed their will. You had to enjoy watching that offensive line work on Saturday in that second half.
Most definitely. You know, those guys were putting the hat on the hat, executing at a high level, being dominant up front, which made the passing game easier. When the passing game became a problem, they were able to run the ball even more and able to sustain drives at a high clip. So that was pretty great to see. Like I said, we're still building momentum, still getting ready to prepare for our next opponent. I think those guys did some great things in taking steps towards being a dominant a line up front for sure.
Rodney, you sat next to me in the press box. I fired Kane Womack 3 times in the first quarter when Vanderbilt was gashing him for 113 yards rushing. I did, Wallace and Dre. I fired the guy 3 times. 113 yards rushing in the first quarter, 22 yards rushing the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Alabama had to start fast. I really thought a key was to play ahead. Didn't kind of go that way, but I think, when you look at the way it kind of unfolded with Vanderbilt getting up 7-0, and then the key play obviously was Justin Jefferson's strip. Tim Keenan falls on it right there inside the 10-yard line. So that was obviously key. Stop that drive. And then Alabama comes back, scores at 7-7. Vanderbilt right before half, they score. But here's the key. And we saw many times in Nick Saban's era where he did not use timeouts before the end of the first half. But Kalen DeBoer chose to use some timeouts, save some time in case Vanderbilt scored, which they did. Alabama goes down. They get the ball in 1 minute and 11 seconds. They go 78 yards in 6 plays, and they tie the game. I thought that was really key because you know what? Vanderbilt was going to open the third quarter with the ball. And if they're up by 7, they take that third quarter first possession.
It's a different game.
It's a different game. So I thought that was a really key point in the game for Alabama.
Wallace,
absolutely.
You said last week the key was to kind of flip the script from last year. for Alabama to have ball control, time of possession, and they did that. And I think you saw as soon as they had to settle for field goals, but as soon as that thing went to 23-14 and Vanderbilt was down by 2 scores, they were out of their comfort zone. You could tell.
Absolutely.
They knew they had to score. Pavia started rushing things. He got unsure of himself. They're a good football team, but they want to dictate the terms. And once they got down 2 scores, you could sense that they were in trouble.
And that's what I meant last week, Gary, about the time of possession. If that time of possession in your favor, then that means the other team is panicking. I mean, they're in panic mode. And from the first tip off to the end of the game, we had those guys in panic mode. And a quarterback like Pavia, that's where you want him at. You want him back there uneasy. You want him uncomfortable. And I think we had him I know we had him uncomfortable the whole first half, and then the second half, the guys executed well. So hats off to those guys again.
I'll point this out. Vanderbilt had over 42 minutes of time of possession last year. This year, they have 22 minutes. Alabama has right close to 38 minutes, right at 38 minutes. So you're right. They did flip the script there, and I thought that was a really big key.
Something else we saw from the offense too, and there's a reason Jam Miller was the starting running back. The other guys, they got some talented guys. I'm not disparaging anybody else in that backfield, but there's a reason, he's a senior and he's the starter. And you can see that experience. He closed that game out, man, with some good blocking, but some determined runs, took care of the football, Dre. I mean, you've blocked for some great running backs in your time, but I thought Jam Miller in that fourth quarter really asserted himself.
Oh, yeah, he's the finisher for sure on the offense. He's the guy that he's our bell cow, so to speak, guy we can lean on. We need a first down late to seal a game, whether we're in 4-minute offense. And he did a great job, being able to second effort, maybe to break some tackles, break some runs, be able to finish the game. So I think the offensive line did a really good job also creating some lanes for him, but he also did a good job finishing the drive and falling forward at the end of his runs, which you already want to see from a really good running back.
Hey, Andre, one thing that really impressed me, it looked like Alabama did a better job in the run game on the interior. Did you notice anything there that caught your attention?
Yeah, I think the guards and the centers did great working their combinations, working up to the second level. The main thing, with the talent that you have at running back at Alabama, all they need is a little crease. You give them a little crease, they can do the rest of the work. They have a job to do at the end of the day. But I think the offensive line as a whole, the interior, they were really starting to gel. Coming up, this is a really important game for us. Those guys are starting to mesh, build that camaraderie up front. I think we're still going to see the best is yet still to come. So I think it's going to be really important for these guys to continue to have a great week of preparation and go out this week and fly around and hit whatever they see, the opposite color.
Hey, and Wallace, I want to ask you, so Vanderbilt runs for 113 in the first quarter. Did you notice anything that Alabama did differently after that? Because Vanderbilt netted 22 yards the rest of the game.
They set their jaw, Rodney. They set their jaw. I feel like not that we were getting outflanked in the first half. I just felt like we were so focused on the quarterback. We were so focused on containing him that we lost sight of those inside and outside runs at time. And I think at halftime, whatever the message was that Womack and those guys gave to the team, they came out and responded. I mean, they came out and literally shut those guys down in the second half. So that's what you want to see from your team, from your defense. And not saying our back goes against the wall, because at the end of the day, that turnaround, like you say, though, that was a big swing. Could you get those guys the confidence coming back in halftime? That's a totally different ball game.
205-339-4953 is the number on the Inside the Trenches hotline. This is a podcast, but it's also interactive, which makes it a lot different than a lot of other podcasts. Most podcasts, you've got your participants and that's it. We allow you to call in and express your opinions, have your questions and thoughts, and we're going to go out on the hotline right now and welcome in Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Gary. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, Andre. Hey, Wallace.
Hey, Robbie. How are you? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Rodney. How you doing?
Doing good. Great game. So we'll get into that one a little bit, but you got to turn around and go to a very good Missouri team. As being ex-players, did y'all like playing that early game? Even though you probably didn't play that many, but when you did that affect y'all any, getting up and playing an 11 o'clock game, being big linemen and stuff, having to get yourself ready?
It does add a different, factor to the day, because, us being big guys, it takes us a little bit to get our motors going than it does the younger guys. But when you're talking about SEC and you're talking about putting yourself, in a position to not only finish the season strong, but put yourself in a good position to have a good playoff run, I think these guys need to be ready for whatever comes their way, no matter what time it is. How you feel about it,
Yeah.
Smitty?
Well, I'm the opposite. You know, I want to get it in, get it over with. You know, you really don't have to worry about the temperature. You know, get on ahead, play the game, get it over with, get the victory. You know, get on to the next opponent. So I'm okay with playing the 11 o'clock game. We actually did it playing Arkansas my junior year. We played 11 a.m. game and we were able to beat them pretty soundly. Get the game over with, fly back to Tuscaloosa, and have our Saturday evening. Do whatever we want
All
to
to
do while we're at
yourself.
tea time.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
it
Yeah.
ended up working out for sure.
Yeah, that sounds good. And Andre, when you see a Proctor getting these little gimmick plays like catching the ball, now running the ball, and you used to do stuff like that, did that excite you as a lineman that you get these plays, or do you think that risk him for any injury or tiring him out, or do you think that's good? Like he's enjoying it, embracing it.
Hey, I'm enjoying it all. You know, the more you can do, you know, being athletic enough, you know, having enough faith in him to be able to throw the ball and able to catch it. And, you know, those defensive players have to make the business decision at the end of the day. Do they really want to run into that truck or do they really want to get ran over? So I'm having fun with it. I know he's having a joy playing it and getting these opportunities to do it. You know, just continue to dominate in the run game, continue to handle his business off the field with his weight management, and the board continue to reward him for those efforts for sure.
He looks like he's really enjoying that. Like it fires him up. Like he's playing even better at left tackle now, just like he's excited. So, last question, I promise. When y'all like the
Oh no,
season's
take your time.
well, the season's long, and you know we're just getting into it, so you know your bodies get worried. Does y'all's workouts change in the weight room during the season? I know you're still lifting, but do they
It,
go to more reps? Or are they still
they
doing
do.
power?
They do. I mean, the good programs they do. I'll say that, Robbie. At the end of the day, once you get in the thick of the season, it's not about building muscle and building mass anymore. You know, it's about keeping guys healthy and keeping the longevity of their injuries, to a minimum. And that's a lot of Pilates and yoga more so play into it than heavy lifting. That's what I could. I mean, that's how I managed to play in the NFL and all those years. You take some of that grunt off your body, and so you can kind of stretch it out a little bit. How did you feel about it, Dre? How did you attack it?
Almost if towards the end of the season, most workouts are catered towards whatever injury you may have going on. Because
All
in
right. Yeah.
football, it's 100%. Everyone's gonna get hurt at some point in time. So like Wallace said, if you're fortunate enough to go to a really good program, they have workouts that's catered towards you, whatever injury or whatever thing you may be fighting to get through Sunday or maybe Saturday, whatever it may be. So I think Alabama's doing a tremendous job having these guys prepare week in and week out with a great nutrition program, great athletic program ran by Jeff Allen. He always on top of his game and keeping guys healthy and on the field. So I think we have a good support staff at Alabama, and we're gonna have continue to battle through injury, and whenever they're happy, next guy up mentality. That's the mentality that we have down there. So that's one thing we have to continue, whenever they do arise.
What you got up there, Rodney?
Well, I was going to say, Bob mentioned to me, Wallace, he'd love to see you doing Pilates.
Hot Pilates at that. I like the
Oh,
sweat a little
Lord.
bit. Yeah, I like to sweat a little bit. It
Yeah.
makes it
If you-
really
if
work.
you've
I
seen
like
it-
Pilates also.
If you've seen
Are
it,
you kidding me? There's no way. There's
I'm telling
no
you.
way you two are Pilating.
Not at the moment, but I have done Pilates in the past for sure. That
It
had a
extends your career.
few years to
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Next thing
It
you're going to
definitely.
tell me you're going to do hot goat yoga.
I'll tell you one thing. Wallace is lean and mean. When he was up here in town a few weeks ago, I will say
appreciate that.
he's looking
Thank you.
swelt, as they
Thank
say.
you.
Hey, Robbie, before you go, says I know Andre and Wallace are interested in a ton of former Bama athletes. Tell us how the Striker Strong golf tournament went on Friday at Frank House.
Yeah, it went great. We were blessed with good weather again. That was the 7th annual, and just to have all the support from some of my ex-baseball teammates flew in from Philly, from Florida, everywhere. A lot of ex-football players, Antonio Langham, Antonio London, Jake Coker, Tyler Watts, Chris Anderson, Kevin Lee, Marcel Darius was there, and then Clinton Dix came riding in, and he couldn't stop smiling. He was having so much fun out there. It was just a great event. 280 golfers, had vendors every hole, and everybody had a good time. We raised some money, and as soon as we get the totals, we'll start sending out checks to different, the TBRS, the syndrome that my son has, and then we're going to help a special kill team that takes care of special needs kids. We're going to send them some money to help with their program, and then area schools help with some their special needs classes, and then Miracle League will send some money so they can get some equipment. So it was a great event, great turnout, a lot of good food. We had a DJ playing, so it's not your basic golf tournament. We have a good time out there, and everybody has fun, and it's for a good cause. So have to get y'all to the eighth annual. Maybe come in town for that. I have to wait till football schedule comes out because everybody likes to play on Friday and then go support Alabama on Saturday. So I make it a great.
You let us know. We'll be there.
Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it. Good to hear from
Thank
you,
you,
man.
Gary.
Absolutely.
All right, 205-339-4953 is the number if you want to get involved in Inside the Trenches. Well, I haven't even asked the three of you about Ty Simpson. Couple of things, and I listened to the press conferences today and listened to Ty after the game on Saturday night in the press conference. He's hard on himself. He said, I made a lot of mistakes. And then Ryan Grubb said today, yeah, he did. I mean, there's a high standard for Ty Simpson. I do want to ask y'all what happened on that first drive, because that was a beautiful drive. You come out, Vanderbilt wins the toss, they defer, you drive it down, you're knocking out first downs, and you have a 4th and 1. And Wallace, did Ty? Was there something? It just seemed to me on 4th and 1, the goal should be get the first down. Was there something underneath a check down that he passed up on the truth? And I don't think he saw the defensive back, but he threw the ball 20 yards down the field there. What happened for his first interception of the year?
I have no idea. I know that's one of those ones he wished he can have back when it left his hand, because you could see when it left his hand that he wasn't really confident about the decision that he made. And I really think he just missed the guy. I think he just missed the read, overlooked the guy, and hit the spot that he's comfortable with hitting. And I was, honestly, when I saw that play, I was like, Ty, what are you doing? But then he rebounded. The guy, he came back, he shook that off, and he had an outstanding game. So that was good to see too. But I was definitely flabbergasted about the decision. But hey, he made it work out.
You know what I really like about it, though, Wallace and Andre? Look, Ty's learning. He's still learning, and I think he's going to learn from that. He'll also learn from the times when he held the ball. It's a great learning experience as you start to move forward. So I think it's still, obviously Ty is still in a developmental stage, but where he is phenomenal. Again, he threw for 340 yards. He had a couple of touchdowns, as Gary mentioned, his first interception of the year. That was Alabama's first turnover of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Ty's in a great spot.
And they didn't turn it over again. Hey, guys, we got a first-time caller. Cole is on the hotline, says he's excited that it's live. Hey, Cole, welcome into Inside the Trenches.
My goodness. I didn't know y'all did this. When did this start?
We've been doing
How
it for
are you, Cole?
A few weeks.
Glad you found us, man.
I had no idea. I thought it was the Tyler Insider that y'all did from 6:30 to 7 on Monday night.
That's Tuesday nights. We do Tyler Insider on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
But Inside the Trenches, mark it down. Tell all your Alabama friends about it. 7 to 8 every Monday night.
Every Monday. I thought it was Chuck Oliver around this time, and then before that was Stingray.
Yeah, Stingray leads into us, and then we've got it 7 to 8. And we're here every Monday night, man. Hey, what you got?
New show in town, Robert. New show in town.
Yeah, well, good for y'all. Hey, I'm excited. Yeah, we got another tough game this week for sure.
Absolutely,
we can't count out Missouri. Got to just take it one. We're in our stretch, so we got to play. All right, we got Georgia. We had Vandy. Now we got to play Missouri. We got to take it one week at a time.
That's
one
right.
week at a time.
It's the next step.
Mm-hmm.
Next step. Yeah. Next game up. How long have you been a Bama fan, Cole?
Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Take us to your best Bama moment throughout the years, Cole. Give us your best Bama moment.
Ooh. I don't know. I think probably the 2009 championship game is because I was old enough then, but I was still kind of young. I was 16, so that was really that season, because I remember we were pretty good in 2005 when we had Shula. We went 10-2. I was like 6th grade, and then after that it kind of slowed down a little bit, and it picked back up after Saban got here. So 2009 we're going to the Rose Bowl was pretty cool. That was probably my favorite memory. Probably going to the Rose Bowl and seeing Saban win his first win.
Yeah, that was one of the turning points. That was one of the turning points of the career.
That
absolutely.
was up there. Because I think without that, I don't think we would have been where we were if he hadn't won it that year. I don't know where we would have been. I think we would have been good, but not to the standard where he put us on the map for sure.
You know what was so good about it, Cole? Was beating Texas.
Yeah.
Beating Texas for the first time.
Although and taking out Colt McCoy like we did. I mean, if he'd been in that game, it might have been the other way around for sure.
Well,
he was a different animal.
I'll say this. If he wasn't injured on the 5th play, it would have been the 10th play. He wasn't going to be able to run the football like he was and withstand that defense. Marcel Darius and all the guys on that defense
were solid. Yeah, Rolando, Marcel. Ooh, we were doing loaded.
Tower. Yeah, they had bad intentions. That group of guys were not only good defensive football players. They were a little bit angry.
They were.
They did. Hey, listen, Cole, appreciate the phone call, man. And you're right about Missouri. You're going to have to be ready to go every week. We've got to get to a break, though, and we're going to hear from some of our terrific sponsors. Inside the Trenches, 205-339-4953. We're live on YouTube right now as well. So I just attached the link on my social media at Gary Harris WVUA23 Facebook page and Gary Harris WVUA on Twitter. Click on that link so you can watch us live on YouTube. We'll be right back with more of Inside the Trenches after this.
Labor Day has come and gone, but the best beach days are ahead of you on the Alabama Gulf Coast now through Thanksgiving. No one wants to work on vacation, so let iBeach Service do it for you. They'll set up your chairs, umbrellas, and canopies every morning and take them down every evening so you can soak up the calm, the sun, and the peace you deserve. For more information, you can call us at 251-504-0097 or visit us online at ibeachservice.com.
The Law Tigers is once again giving away a custom-built Crimson Tide motorcycle to one lucky fan. This one-of-a-kind bike is a tribute to your favorite team and was built by Area 51 Customs. Go to crimsontidebike.com now for your chance to win.
The fall is a great time to come have a ball at the beach. This is Hunter Harrelson, owner of Beach Ball Properties, letting you know that we have dozens of great condos and houses waiting for you to come down and take advantage of reduced rates, less traffic, no waiting at restaurants, and the beautiful fall weather here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Check us out at beachballproperties.com, on Facebook, or call us at 251-968-8896. If you have an investment property, I would love the opportunity to discuss how we can be the best owner-friendly deal on the coast. Come have a ball at the beach.
The Town Square Media Big Buck Contest is back October 15th through February 10th. There will be an open range division winner, youth division winner, overall winner, and weekly winners. Each winner will receive sponsor prizes. Take your buck to be scored at Hicks Taxidermy on 69 North in North Fork, just before Carroll Creek Baptist Church. Sponsored by South's Finest Roofing, Cajun Bistro, Riverside Feed and Seed, Hammond's Rack and Reel, Slifer Supply, Banks & Company Hardware, Stephen Fights Allstate, B&B Transmission, and Primetime Meds Clinic.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROYAL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROYAL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROYAL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The 54th Annual Kintuck Festival of the Arts is coming Saturday, October 11th and Sunday, October 12th at Snow Hinton Park in Tuscaloosa. This year's event is bigger and better. Over 270 artists featuring folk, traditional, and contemporary art. Live music on our main stage, food trucks, and local craft beer. Kintuck Festival tickets are on sale now, including special VIP tickets. Tickets can be purchased at kintuck.org. Bring the whole family to the 54th Annual Kintuck Festival, October 11th and 12th.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Alabama fans are all over the world, and we are too. Download the Tide 100.9 app right now in the App Store and Google Play, and take the Crimson Tide everywhere you go.
Football is back. Join former Alabama standouts Wallace Gilberry and Andre Smith alongside Tiger insiders Rodney Orr and Gary Harris every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Central as Wallace and Andre take you inside their time in the Crimson and White and in the NFL. Come along as they give you an inside look into the Crimson Tide and more. Catch us Monday from 7 to 8 Central on Tide100.9.com and TiderInsider.com and all your social media platforms for Inside the Trenches.
Yeah, I'm from Big Bama. You're not the little one. We got
All right, we're back on Inside the Trenches, and our YouTube channel at Inside the Trenches YouTube channel is up and running, so you can see the video as well, and Tide109.com, Tide109 FM, and I didn't catch that, Bob. Okay. So, wait a minute. Bob's sending me a message. Yeah, boy. Yeah, oh, yeah. We got a phone call. I knew that. I was going to get to that for sure. We're going to jump back out on the Inside the Trenches hotline, 205-339-4953. And we are going to, well, let's hold off before we go to Cowboy. Let's, Cowboy, hold tight. We're going to get to Wallace. And Wallace, you're going to tell us about one of the great sponsors.
Absolutely, Gary. So we have Law Tigers. These guys are giving away a custom Crimson Top bike done by Area 51. And if you want a chance to win this bike, absolutely. If you want a chance to win this bike, head over to crimsontidebike.com. Again, it's crimsontidebike.com, and just enter a chance to win this bike. I'm going to enter. I don't think I've entered it 20 times already.
Now, Wallace, if you win it, you're going to give it to somebody, though. I know.
I probably, you know what? If I probably would, Gary. To be honest with you, I probably would. I'm not really a bike guy, but I love the bike. I love the tribute. I mean, it's real, all chrome Alabama custom tribute. It's nice, very nice.
Tell them where they can find it one more time so they can get entered.
CrimsonTideBike.com.
CrimsonTideBike.com. Yeah, get entered for that. Thanks to Law Tigers, man. That sounds like a heck of a giveaway, and it is. All right, now we're going to jump out on the Inside the Trenches hotline. Our pal Cowboy from out in Big D, Dallas, Texas, is with us. Hey, Cowboy.
How's it going, Gary and Rodney and Andre and Wallace? I got a question for you, Wallace, and I have one for Andre.
All right, shoot.
Wallace, who was the
shoot from the hip, Cowboy?
I'm shooting it from the range, man. I've got my lasso. I'm ready to rope you on this one. How about who was the toughest offensive lineman you faced in the NFL? And who was the toughest offensive lineman you practiced against at Alabama?
But that's easy. That's easy, Cowboy. Andre Smith was toughest in college, and I think we kind of alluded to this on the first show. We went against each other for a reason, because we knew what we both brought to practice, and we both brought to the game. So we kind of used practice as a way to sharpen, up our Saturdays. In the NFL, Trent Williams was a beast. He was a great. He was one of those great guys that protected the edge. Even again in Cincinnati, going against Andre Smith at practice every day. But I would have to give a nod to Trent Williams. You had oh my God, Joe Thomas in Cleveland, probably one of the best offensive linemen I ever went against. And I mean, I played in the era, Cowboy, where guys were really blocking, where you could punch you in the mouth, and wouldn't get a personal foul. So, and these guys, 6'7", 330 pounds, running 5 flat 40. So it was a little different back then.
Right. Did y'all kind of ever jaw at each other much?
Absolutely.
On you or
it would get. I'm gonna tell you, Cowboy. Drake can contest to this. It would get to the point sometimes in the NFL we would need security walking back to the locker room. Because guys were still mad. After the game they wanted. Yeah. So it get inside those trenches. It gets real grimy.
Yeah, it get a little nasty in there. You have grown men battling for 70 plays straight. So a little animosity can get built up for sure, especially if you're getting dominated.
Yeah. Now, Wallace, where
Absolutely.
are you living now? Orange Beach, you say?
Baldwin County. Yep, Baldwin County, Spanish Fort, Daphne area.
Oh, okay, cool, good deal.
Yes, sir.
You in the real estate business down there, anything like that? A lot of that
No.
going on.
Yeah. Oh my God, Baldwin County is probably one of the hottest areas in the state of Alabama for real estate. But I don't like to swim where the water's crowded. So I tend to maybe swim upstream on a couple of my ideas and a couple of my consulting opportunities that I do here in Alabama. But the most thing I focus on in this podcast, man, growing this podcast every week, having guys like you calling in and supporting us, and so that's where my focus is right now.
Cowboy, you questioned for Andre?
Yeah, I was going to tell Wallace.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
always go to the beach down there in the summer and take my
Oh,
kids.
it's beautiful.
We have a big time down there. We
It's
love it.
beautiful.
Hey,
It's beautiful.
Andre, now who was besides Wallace? Who was the toughest defensive lineman you faced in practice at Alabama and then in the NFL?
I'll probably have to say Brandon Detter was pretty tough to face every day at practice. You know,
Yeah,
he did
that
some
Jacob
great
was
stuff.
wild.
He did some really good stuff while he was at the University of Alabama. Fortunate enough to get drafted. I think he was drafted in the 3rd round. Had a successful career by playing in the NFL. Now he's the D-line coach at Southern Miss. I'm sure he has those guys flying around doing some really good stuff.
Well,
And
I'll tell you
probably
a story about Andre. Let me tell you a story about Brandon real quick from covering practice. He would throw down. I was out there one day when he threw down. I don't know who it was with, but they said turn those cameras off because Brandon would. I think you were already gone, Andre. I think you were already in the NFL, but I think he went at it with a guy one day. Did you ever throw any fisticuffs with him?
Nah, they knew not to fight with me. It was none of that going on. None of that. None of that.
That fight may finish at Brian Hall.
Yeah, already.
Well, what about the
Nah.
NFL? Who was the guy you faced in the NFL gave you the most trouble?
Oh man, probably Von Miller.
Yes,
He's a handful in his prime. You know, he's lost a step or two, but you know he's still able to get to the quarterback at a good rate. But you know, most definitely, you know, getting prepared for him throughout the week. You know, back in the day, I would say like a Lamar Woodley, James Harris, those type of guys were also pretty tough to block. Also,
But every week, guys, it's to Andre's contest. Every week he went against Pro Bowl defensive linemen. Michael Johnson, Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins, Damatar Pecco. I mean, practice was intense. Every day was
oh
every
yeah,
day was a
2 minute
Super
drill
Bowl.
was a beast every week.
Absolutely,
I would say
man.
2 minute drill was the most probably the competitive drill we had all week for sure.
Yeah, that team, our teams were stacked.
That was some good insight. When guys tie up in practice in the NFL, because we see it all the time with the videos talking about fighting and stuff. Does it ever? You kidded about taking it over the line. Get Wallace and Andre. Does it really ever get nasty, or is it more just scuffling? Have you ever been at practice where two guys got into it with really bad intentions?
I've seen a Boo Ray game ruin a locker room. I've seen a Boo Ray game ruin some
Tell them what Boo Ray is.
career.
Tell them what Boo Ray is. Tell them what it is.
So Boo Ray is the game. It's a card game, a simple card game. You think it's simple. I mean, I accidentally. I'll give you this story. I accidentally got into one of these games my first year. I was with the New York Giants. I was on practice squad. I was lucky. Well, I was blessed enough the way I practiced. Coughlin would let me travel with the team. He never let too many practice squad guys travel, but I was one of the guys that was allowed to travel. And so it was a card game. They give out, everybody get a card, 5 cards, and then the last card, they turn over a card. So if it's a diamond or club, that's the cut card. But I didn't understand the schematics of the game. I'm thinking it's just a simple cut hand and, you know, the pot, the boo pot, what the case may be. And we're probably playing 3-4 hands, and, you know, guys are anteing up, ante here, ante there. And next thing I know, the pot is almost $40,000, and I'm sitting in the middle of this game. Right. I'm sitting in the middle.
Squad player. So you didn't have a ton of cash.
Gary, I'm sitting in the middle of a $40,000 pot on the plane, and we probably got about 20 minutes left to land. So this pot can go from 40,000 to another 200,000.
Holy cow!
Ironically, I was able to get out of the pot, and just so happened, Lawrence Times, the kicker, he ended up losing his Range Rover. He got it back in a couple of weeks, but he lost his Range Rover that game. That game. So I mean, guys find ways, man. We find ways to blow our money. We find ways to start unnecessary arguments. Like we find ways. We find a way.
Yeah, that's some good insight there. That's behind the curtain a little bit there, Bob and Rodney.
Absolutely.
Cowboy, you still with us?
Yeah, I was just one last question. I was trying to see where Andre was living now. I'm sorry if y'all already said it.
Yeah, I'm up in here in the Birmingham area. I've been here since I've been retired.
Andre's coaching a little bit, Cowboy. Andre's coaching.
Yeah, I'm O-line coach over at Miles College. I've been doing that for about a year now, so I'm really enjoying that. Being around the youth, you know, bringing the light to them, and you know, give them some of my oil, so to speak. You know, I played a lot of football. You know, just better get a little knowledge and gems and different ideas about the game of football.
Good stuff. Thank you, Cowboy.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Cowboy.
Appreciate that, man. As
Thank
always.
you.
All right, 205-339-4953. All right, let's get into this game coming up, Rodney. And when you talk about Missouri, you're talking about a 5-0 football team coming off a bye week with kind of like you faced Vanderbilt with Pavia in that run game, always having options. Drinkwitz is a pretty good offensive-minded coach, and they'll have some wrinkles. Purbulla, the quarterback that came over from Penn State, took over when Sam Horn got hurt on the first play of the season. They're 5-0. They have got wins over Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and UMass. So Kansas and South Carolina, a couple good wins. South Carolina on the road. Ahmad Hardy, the running back, might be the best running back in the league. So they've got some offensive firepower, and they appear to be better on defense than they've been. Give us a scouting report on this Missouri team.
Look, I think, first of all, you're going there. It's an early morning game, 11 a.m. kick. So the way I see Missouri, look, I know what they're going to do. They're going to come out. They're going to be really aggressive. This is going to be a crazy environment early. Okay. So I think Alabama's got to, what did Saban used to say? You got to survive, the storm early.
The S storm.
Yeah. So you got to survive that early. That's what I really think here. Because like you said, they're 5-0. Their schedule, though, when you look at them, and I'm not taking anything away from them, we're going to find out how good they are. But they've got the 109th ranked schedule. So right now, but when you look at them offensively, they run the football, man. I mean, they average 292 yards a game rushing.
Jeez.
They total 547 yards a game. You mentioned Ahmad Hardy. He's already over 700 yards rushing.
5 games.
5 games. He's over 700 yards rushing. He's averaged 7.1 yards a carry. But now look, Jamal Roberts is back up. He averages 7.3 a carry. He's got about 350 on the season. But so they do run the football. Bo Purbulla, the quarterback, of course. He's a 75% passer. He's thrown for over 1,200 yards. It's been really accurate, obviously. Makes a lot of plays. They've got some good receivers. A lot of Alabama fans remember this guy. Gary, you probably remember him too. We used to talk about him on Tiger Insider TV, a little guy out of the St. Louis area, St. Mary's High School. Kevin Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Really outstanding. Was a 5-star rated receiver coming out of high school. He went to Jackson State originally. Remember when Deion was there? So he's kind of been around, bumped around, but he's their leading receiver right now. So, and they've got a really strong core. Like I said, defensively, I mean, here's the crazy thing. Defensively, they're giving up 62 yards a game rushing. 62 yards a game. Nothing. That's it. They're only giving up 141 passing, so just over 200 yards a game. So they've been, again, against the schedule they played, they've been pretty dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wallace, Alabama, much better against the run in the second half against Vanderbilt, but this is a team in Alabama that has been suspect against the run, and now you're facing one of the best rushing teams in the country. What are you going to do to tighten it up?
I'm kind of nervous. I don't think we have the best run defense in the world right now, or even SEC. So that kind of, not worries me, but troubles me a little bit. Will we tighten up on those outside runs? Will we be able to get off those blocks in the inside, those double teams, and kind of, tighten the A to B gap up? So that's, here to be seen. It's just like Rodney was saying earlier. We have to weather that storm. They're gonna hit us with everything they got in those first 20 plays. Those first 20 plays are going to, set the game. So if we can, figure out what they're trying to do to us early on, rather than, going into halftime 0-0 or 7-3, whatever the case may be, if we can figure out what those guys are trying to do to us early on, I think it'll give us a better chance later in the game to make it a one-dimensional game.
Andre, they run the ball, they stop the run. I mean, your tackle. That's what they say wins football games, right? You can run the ball and stop the other team's run game. You got a good chance to win.
Oh yeah, that's how you play football for certain. But one thing I would say, I would take pride this week as an offensive line. They feel like they can stop the run. I want to be able to smash them and run the ball down their throat. I'm saying we got our bell cow running back behind us now. He's starting to get knocked the rust off, from being injured early on in the season. I think we're going to lean on that defensive line and create some lanes for him so they have a big day. And also in the passing game, we think we're going to continue to keep Ty standing up right. He can push the ball downfield to Bernard and Williams and just continue to do what he does at a high level. I think the offense is going to be fine, but it's going to be like you said, if they can weather the storm early on in the game, so to speak, we're able to have some success later on. I think Coach DeBoer is going to have those guys fired up, ready to go out there and play fast and finish the game strong for sure.
Hey Dre, when you say lean on guys, can you elaborate on that? Because you guys do a lot of leaning. They don't call. They don't call all that leaning y'all be doing.
No, it's just called moving a man against his will is what we call it, for sure, Just, be able to push on those guys, if you're able to get those guys tired, pushing against 300-pound men all game can get really tiresome to a defensive line. We're able to lean on them, move them against their will, like I sort of said, like push a car down the street. If we do that over and over and over again, those guys get worn out. Then it comes down in the fourth quarter, we're able to do what we want to do as far as throw the ball or run the ball, even in the screen game. So I think it's going to be really important for us to get started really fast.
All right, Bob's dying for me to jump out on the hotline because we got Nana on the line. Nana, good evening.
Gary, it's Nana.
I hear you.
If you're on the radio or the TV, I'll be there. I just want you to know that. What a surprise tonight to hear you. And I also would like to speak with that Wallace. Can he hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you, Nana. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Let me tell you something. If I was a few years younger, you'd be in trouble.
I like sweet potato pie, Nana.
I'm telling you what, I make a sweet potato pie, and if I ever get to you, I'm bringing you one. I'm bringing you one.
You sound like it. You sound like you can make a good pie, Nana. Where are you located?
My grandson. I'm in Tuscaloosa. My grandson plays football, Hillcrest.
Oh wow!
Oh nice! Oh wow!
Yeah.
So are you the team? Are you the team, Granny?
I'm the team Nana, and
all right.
I can get out in the yard with him, Wallace, and I can get down in a 4-point stance with the best of them.
I like it. So what position does he needs some help getting up? What position is he playing now? So we can give him a shout out. What's his name? What position is he playing?
He's what they call a wide receiver.
Wide receiver. I love it. What's his name, Nana? What's his name?
His name is Teddy O'Rea.
Teddy O'Rea. Teddy, we're gonna be watching out for you, Teddy. We know you're Nana now.
That's exactly right. Wallace, I'll come see you sometime if you ever get to town.
Well, he's going to be in the studio here with us in a couple of weeks, I think, Nana. So you'll have to come over here and visit us for sure.
Absolutely, come see us.
I got a sweet patootie pie with your name on it.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Dre, I'll give you a slice, Dre. I'll give you a slice. I'll give you a slice.
The phone.
Hey, Nana, listen,
I'll give you a slice, Dre.
She brought it now. She brought it. She'll bring that sweet potato pie when Wallace is in studio. All right, we got to get to another break. This is Inside the Trenches, 205-339-4953. If you want to have some fun with the guys, you're more than welcome to call in and do so. And we've got more to come, and we'll be right back after this.
Labor Day has come and gone, but the best beach days are ahead of you on the Alabama Gulf Coast now through Thanksgiving. No one wants to work on vacation, so let iBeach Service do it for you. They'll set up your chairs, umbrellas, and canopies every morning and take them down every evening so you can soak up the calm, the sun, and the peace you deserve. For more information, you can call us at 251-504-0097 or visit us online at ibeachservice.com.
The Law Tigers is once again giving away a custom-built Crimson Tide motorcycle to one lucky fan. This one-of-a-kind bike is a tribute to your favorite team and was built by Area 51 Customs. Go to crimsontidebike.com now for your chance to win.
The fall is a great time to come have a ball at the beach. This is Hunter Harrelson, owner of Beach Ball Properties, letting you know that we have dozens of great condos and houses waiting for you to come down and take advantage of reduced rates, less traffic, no waiting at restaurants, and the beautiful fall weather here in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Check us out at beachballproperties.com, on Facebook, or call us at 251-968-8896. If you have an investment property, I would love the opportunity to discuss how we can be the best owner-friendly deal on the coast. Come have a ball at the beach.
How would you like to win a tailgate package from Fusakli's?
Listen to the game with Ryan Fowler for your chance to win a Fusakli's tailgate pack with a tray of 50 fingers, half pan of crinkle-cut fries, 2 6-packs of Texas toast, 2 pints of house-made coleslaw, a gallon of fresh squeezed lemonade, and 2 pints of house-made Fusakli sauce. Listen to the game with Ryan Fowler every day from 2 until 6 for how to win a tailgate package for football season from Fusakli's and Tide 100.9.
Get a head start on your holiday shopping at Celebrate Local. Shop the halls. Join us Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Bryant Conference Center on the University of Alabama campus. Enjoy a festive shopping experience with local boutiques, artists, and more with free admission. Presented by Visit Tuscaloosa and Premier Service Company. An event by the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama. Celebrate Local Shop the Halls, November 19th at Bryant Conference Center.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up with the smell, but it's still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Football is back. Join former Alabama standouts Wallace Gilberry and Andre Smith alongside Tiger insiders Rodney Orr and Gary Harris every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Central as Wallace and Andre take you inside their time in the Crimson and White into the NFL. Come along as they give you an inside look into the Crimson Tide and more. Catch us Monday from 7 to 8 Central on Tide100.9.com and TigerInsider.com and all your social media platforms for Inside the Trenches.
Yeah, I'm from Big Bama, you're not the little one. We got smoke for anybody that wants some. Yeah, we don't do no yapping, and we don't do no capping. We from the state where...
All right, we're back on Inside the Trenches, and the phone lines are ringing off the hook. Mary in Atlanta, we're going to get to you in just a moment, Mary, so you hold tight. But right now, we got a special guest that I think every Alabama fan out there listening will know this name immediately. And I'll say this. He and I share a high school alma mater together. Now, he was a lot of years behind me and a lot better football player, but Tyro Prothero is with us on the Inside the Trenches hotline. Pro, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you
What's
bet,
up,
man.
bro?
Good to have you. Wallace,
What's happening,
taking
bro?
over, man. We got one of the most dynamic playmakers in the history of Alabama football with us.
The history. And also, Gary, before we get him going, my old roommate.
Oh, really?
We shared a bunk. We shared a bunk together. That was my bunk mate. My old
I
bunk
didn't
mate.
know that.
We
Did he snore? Pro, did he snore? Did Wallace snore?
No, but he owed Rose Towers some money. He owed Rose Towers some money for that whole.
We tell this story every time we together. We tell this story every time we together.
You gotta.
I'll elaborate.
Yeah.
So Pro was different, man. Pro was one of those receivers. He was compact, but he worked out with the defensive lineman. The guy squatted 600 pounds and probably benched 330. It was unbelievable. Like, he was one of those guys that you look at and you didn't think he was that strong, but on the field you saw why he made all those plays. Like, you saw why. And we were in the kitchen. I did all the cooking, and I think he was mad because I left some grease on the stove or something one night. And he asked me to clean the stove, but it wasn't what he asked me, it was how he asked me. It was the tone of his voice, and that was time for me to grab him. So when I grabbed him, we locked up, but then I forgot that he could bench 600 pounds. And the next thing we know, we ended up in the next dorm room next to us, and we took a big poster and put over the hole so nobody could see the hole, and we just left it there till they tore Rose Towers down.
Y'all didn't even buy the drywall. You just stuck a poster over it. The old redemption trick.
I love Pro like a brother, man. I love him like a brother. Pro, tell us what you got going on these days, man. How you doing out there, Pro?
Man, we good, man. I literally just walked in the door. I just got done. We just got done with practice today. We got a big matchup Friday. Coaching at Jasper High School. This is year 8 for me, and we got a big matchup against Muscle Shoals. I think they're ranked number 4. I think they're in the top 5, but I think they're ranked number 4 in 6A. So it's going to be a tough matchup for, but it's one that I think our kids will embrace.
Wow. So what are you coaching exactly, Tyrone? Are you coaching the receivers? Or are you the offensive coordinator? What exactly?
No, I coach the returners and I coach the receivers, and then I help in the pass game coordinator.
Okay.
Y'all got a pretty good football team this year. I give you scores on Friday nights. Y'all pretty good.
Yeah, we got we got a few guys that are being recruited. Got some guys that we were young. These are the same guys that were young last year. We were 7-3 last year, and we barely missed the playoffs because we lost the game that we shouldn't. And these same guys come back as seniors, and they're hungry for success and remember how it felt last year not going to the playoffs. And this year we've started off with 6-0. Guys are, the end goal is, making it to the state championship game, and that's kind of what's on everybody's mind. And, we work our butts off to try to get, week in and week out to try to maintain that point.
With this new age coaching pro, how do you keep these kids motivated, man? What's the secret code? Because like I'm hearing a lot from these high school coaches that, with this NIL era and whatnot, it's hard keeping these high school kids motivated. So what are you seeing?
Well, with a lot of them at our school, man, we got a lot of unselfish kids, man. We got guys that, even though sometimes they might not get the ball, I'm a receivers guy, so, a lot of times we got two dang good running backs, and a lot of times when our guys are blocking on a perimeter, you don't hear a peep out of any of my guys. I mean, we're all for each other. We might have to block on the perimeter the whole game, and a lot of times, if that's our job, if that's our goal, then that's what our guys do. So, at my school, I can speak for Jasper, man. We just got a lot of unselfish kids that, a lot of them, they just want to make it out of Jasper. It's and football may be their opportunity to make it out. So, they're kind of locked in and sold on and bought in. Coach Reeves has got them bought into the program, and year 3 under Coach Reeves, we're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, Pro Throw. Listen, first of all, let's talk about Saturday real quick. Gary, Wallace had a tent out there outside the stadium. Alabama legends had guys signing autographs, and I'm not sure who all was there, Wallace, because I didn't get there until late. But can you imagine Tyrone Pro Throw and David Palmer?
Two of the best, probably the two best return game guys ever.
Two of the best, of course. Javier Arenas. When you start talking about Alabama return guys, it's Palmer.
Those three.
And in no order, it's those three. The all-time greats for sure. But it was really great to be able to see Tyrone again, but also to meet David Palmer. Man, what a legend! What a legend they all are. Tyrone. But kind of talk about Tyrone a little bit about your career at Alabama, kind of some of the things, because I remember when you were being recruited, you were in high school, and Todd Bates, I think Todd's your cousin. Is that right? Or
Todd is my cousin. Yep.
Yeah. Todd Bates told me, he said, you know what, man? He said, I know you cover recruiting, Rodney. He said, the future Heisman Trophy winner plays at my high school at Cleveland County. I said, who you
Cleveland
talking?
County Tigers.
Yeah. So I said, okay. I said, well, I never forget calling Coach Short. And there was a kid in the state of Alabama, Chad Jackson. You guys remember Chad Jackson?
Bad man. Hoover High School.
And let me tell you, Coach Short told me, he said, now, Rodney, you can't print this. I said, okay, Coach, I won't print it. He said, Chad Jackson ain't in Tyrone's class.
Well, I tell you something else now about Cleveland County.
That's a heck of a compliment.
Wallace and Andre, I think Pro wanted to go to Auburn. That's a little, because that's where I went to high school. I graduated in 1982. But there was a strong Auburn influence over there. And going back to Charles Wood and Pro, you probably would have gone to Auburn had they made you a firm offer. Am I right?
Well, the thing about so I was always an Alabama fan, grew up an Alabama fan, and you see in the papers, you see on TV, you see on in the media at that time, guys, they do their signing day and then they do the switcheroo on signing day. Well, I was always Alabama.
Okay.
Let's get that correct. My uncle played for Auburn. Everybody on my dad's side of the family, they're Auburn fans. But, I wanted to commit to Auburn, and then on signing day do the whole hat. But
that sound like him.
But that fell through.
Yes. Yes, you should have did that.
The day that I wanted to commit to Auburn, they told me they couldn't accept my commitment because at the time I wasn't qualified. So, about a week later, Alabama accepted my commitment, and I just took that as Auburn just didn't want to take a chance on me because I wasn't qualified yet. They didn't think I was going to get qualified.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that story went. But I was always Alabama.
So you were
going
to stick it to them. You were going to
Clear in
stick
the air.
I was going to pull a switcheroo, man, to be honest.
Breaking news. I've never heard
Yeah. I haven't really told many people that, but that's kind of the story behind that.
Interesting. That's one of the great stories.
Yeah. We got it out right here
stories.
inside the trenches.
Yep.
That's why we get these guys on with Wallace and Andre. See, they'll open up. What are your thoughts, Pro, on this? I know you're coaching your own team, but this Alabama team, have you seen a lot of them this year? What are your thoughts on this team?
I mean, yeah, I think outside of the first game, you look at what we've done, these last few games, and it's a team that's played with a lot more effort. It's a team that's played, to the standard that you would expect them to play. You got different guys that are stepping up, other than Ryan, and you got Jam coming back and he's running the ball the way he's running the ball. So, I think just the effort that they're putting in, the pride that they're putting in, you can kind of tell it more so than the first game. So I think there's a lot of pieces, and I think if we can keep it going and keep playing the style of play that we're playing, I think we got a chance.
Smitty, Wallace,
Like
come on
it.
in here.
I like it. No. I'm agree with him. I mean, probably always will, but he's dead on. I mean, I feel like the style of play that we play, if we control the narrative, which is the time of possession, we control the game. I like our defense. I like how everybody's coming into their own. And right now, that loss against Florida State doesn't look as bad as it did 2 weeks ago. So I mean, I like the direction we're treading in.
We're in our final minute, Pro. You, I know you're there because like you said, you've been at Jasper 8 years. You have any ambition to coach at the college level? Is that something that you want to do at some point?
I mean, there's always, as a coach, you always want to be able to move up and better yourself. And I do think, at some point, I do want to. I would love to come back and coach at Alabama. That's where I live. That's where I played at. But right now, my role, my calling is to try to influence, this generation of kids. And I think, my calling is just to, be a mentor, be a positive influence for kids where I'm at.
Well, Pro, man, so good to catch up with you.
Love it.
Thanks for that
Love
story
it.
on the Auburn switcheroo. I wish they had offered you. Right
Yes, sir. Appreciate that story.
TV.
Oh, it would have turned out bad for them had they offered.
It would have been a classic. Hey, thank you, Pro.
Thanks for your time, Pro. Appreciate you, bro. Love you, man.
Hey, Mary in
No problem,
Atlanta.
ladies. We'll holler.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Mary in Atlanta. No, I'm just going to tell her, Bob, that we're going to get to. Please call back next week. I'm sorry that we didn't have a chance to get with you. Mary, you there? Mary.
Yeah, I'm here, Gary.
Yeah, we're out of time. Will you call back next week?
Sure, that's fine.
We appreciate you. I'm so sorry we ran out of time on Mary. She's a loyal caller to the Gary Harris Show, but we'll hopefully call her next week. One final word on. Yeah, go ahead, Wallace.
No. I was just gonna say I got a kid down here in Baldwin County at Bayside, Walker Collins, number 13. Man, he's been playing lights out this year. Coach Trotter got those guys playing pretty good ball down here. I think they only took one loss to Phillip Rivers St. Michael's group. So big shout out to Colin on Walker and Bayside down here in Baldwin County.
All right, we got to get out of here. CrimsonTideBike.com. CrimsonTideBike.com. Law Tigers is giving away this custom Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail. Get registered. It is a beautiful bike. Alabama Crimson Tide bike giveaway. Please go sign up and get a chance to win. All right, for Wallace Gilberry, Andre Smith, and Rodney Orr, I'm Gary Harris. Thanks for listening Inside the Trenches, and we'll see you and talk to you again next Monday night.
Labor Day has come and